All right guys, on this week's Land Beat, we're talking about objectives with our prescribed fire, specifically the timing to eliminate or reduce the amount of woody encroachment in this native stand. All right guys, this specific site's unique in the fact that a couple years ago, it looked completely different. This was chock full of invasive non-native species such as autumn olive, Japanese honeysuckle, bush honeysuckle, and many other, Chinese privet. And so this didn't have a clear direction distinction on this specific property. So we wanted to basically just restart it. We had equipment on site, decided to completely doze it out, pile it up, burn it, and then since we had bare ground, introduce or reintroduce native species. And specifically, we selected a blend that was diverse native grasses as well as diverse pollinator species, broadleaf, showy flowering species. So we've got 30 different species in here, but what you can see back behind me, since that time of seeding, we've had a great response of those natives, but in addition to that, we've had some woody encroachment that came back in here too, specifically black locust, a little bit of tree of heaven, but the black locust is a lot of the woody sprouts you're seeing. It tends to be pretty aggressive in this region of the country. We're in southern Ohio, and so when there's bare ground, there's some bigger black locust trees around. It's kind of an early pioneering species. So what we wanted to do here in this specific unit is, because of the success of the natives and the thatch load, we wanted to burn this, but we opted to burn this later into this season. So we're at the cusp of late dormant season and into the spring green up, as you can tell. So what that's going to do and accomplish for us is, as much of the black locust has now leafed out and pushed a lot of its nutrients that's stored in the root system, it's now going to get top killed and really set back. If we had done this earlier in the dormant season, say January, February timeframe, sure, this grass would have burned off just as fine, but we wouldn't have had nearly as much setback on these black locusts as we will now that they've leafed out. So we've waited to do this until that leaf out stage, hopefully have more of an impact, exhausting that root system of the black locust through the green up staging. What that also is going to do is, if there is a little bit of mixed fescue in here, we're going to hit that as well and set that back. And in addition to that, with this later burn, we're actually going to be able to accomplish better brood rearing cover as opposed to burning it in the January, February timeframe as well. So there are a lot of things that's happening here, but main targets is to set back the woody aggression that's occurred since planting this, and from there we're going to be able to monitor the response. Sure, we're going to have to come back probably and foliar treat the interior of the unit with a spot spray of a Garlon 3A to address some of the resprouting of the black locust, but this is going to help a lot just by using fire at the right time and accomplish some other goals that we want to improve turkey nesting and brood rearing success here on the property. All right guys, well, the smoke has settled on this small little prescribed fire unit. Just wanted to follow up and show you the results of it. We did a back burn, and the reason for that was to allow more heat retention around the base of these stems for a longer period of time. If we had just done a head fire, it would have flashed these fuels and had been a lot faster of a fire, probably a little bit more heat, but a shorter residence time of that heat in and around the base of these stems. So we had plenty of fuel, and we let it back down in here. It's about 80 degrees today, and so with the ambient temperature, the residence time of that heat coming back in here, we have a lot of charring and a lot of heat at the base of these trees. Black locust, sassafras, tree of heaven, a lot of these have already shown extreme signs of wilting on the leaves due to that heat, but I'm anticipating a lot of these not resprouting. Some of them certainly will, but the point of this is to showcase that we had multiple objectives with this fire. It needed to be burned, this unit needed to be burned this year anyways, so just delaying that timing of fire, we were able to achieve some of this woody, knocking this woody stem back. And so in the years to come and the months to follow, we're gonna have to come back in and retreat some of these, but the number of stems that we're gonna have to do that with and use herbicide on is gonna be drastically reduced because of the timing of this fire. So we're gonna continue to monitor that and treat as necessary, but I'm excited to see just how much heat we got on these stems and anticipate the lack of regeneration on some of these stems. Down the slope where there wasn't as much grass, you can see some of those stems we're gonna have to come back in and cut and treat. But again, if we can reduce that time spent doing that, that's more time on other projects.